Whew, guys, taking a shower when you're not feeling good is honestly incredible. It feels great. Welcome back to the channel, guys. And as you just heard, I'm feeling pretty bad, actually. I haven't been feeling good the past couple days, so that's why there's been no videos. And if you guys would check my community posts, which I'm going to start doing a lot more from now on, you would notice that. So start checking those. But I also did a poll on my community post asking which show you guys wanted to see first. Chainsaw Man and The Eminence in Shadow. And when I checked this morning, it was literally 50-50. It was dead even. So I picked Chainsaw Man, and I'll tell you two reasons why I did. The first off is it's the final. It's the finale of season 1. So I wanted to give this series its roses while I can and just kind of talk about it. I really want to talk about that ending, by the way. And two is the fact that I watched the episode already. I had fully intended to do the video on Wednesday for Chainsaw Man, but I got so sick while I was watching it that I said, I'm going to lay down. But this episode is actually really emotional. It's really emotional and sets up a lot of things for the future, from what I know at least. So let's just get straight into it and talk about Chainsaw Man episode 13 finale today, because it's a good episode. And as our episode begins today, we get straight into the emotion, like I said, as Aki's getting choked out by the Ghost Devil, and it looks like he passes out right here. But it's here that we get to a flashback, and we see his perspective on his supposed dinner date with Himeno, which I consider it a dinner date. As Aki still doesn't want to take it, but we get those words again that hit oh so hard, that I wish you would. I get the feeling we're going to be together for a while. That still hurts. And Aki does decide to take it, as he says, you're kind of awful, making someone who's underage smoke. As Himeno starts freaking out, like, wait a minute, you're underage? I didn't know that. Why are we on this date then? As she says, well, you obviously can't smoke it then, and takes it back from him. As she tells him, I'll hang on to this one for you. Once you grow up and you're ready to develop an addiction, I'll give it back. Yo, wise words from Himeno. And as we transition back to the present, we see that Ghost apparently let Aki down, let him go, as it actually extends a hand out towards him. And when Ghost opens its hand up, it's the cigarette. And when Aki grabs it from Ghost and looks at it, he's shocked when he reads easy revenge on it. Himeno really had everything planned out, huh? I imagine this was her final order to Ghost, that when she died, she wanted Ghost to give Aki this cigarette. I imagine that's what this is, and why Ghost would do that, but damn. This is sad. But it's just the thing that Aki needs to get his resolve, as he gets up and walks towards Ghost and says, the Ghost Devil doesn't have eyes, so it uses fear to see. Himeno explained that to me, as he starts walking up the back of the Ghost Devil, because he doesn't fear it anymore. So the Ghost Devil, I assume, can't even perceive him right now, because he has no fear of it. As he gets to its head and raises his sword, as he says, Himeno, I'll be with you soon. As he cuts Ghost's head clean off. As Sawatari looks on, shocked at what just happened. And as Sawatari, in a panic, tries to call Snake, we just hear Aki say, don't kill her. As we see a knife to her throat and Kobeni holding it. Like, what? Freaking Kobeni is clutch at times. What the hell? She was still annoying in that one episode, but I'm really starting to like Kobeni a little more. When she's actually competent, I really like her. And as Aki walks up to them, he says, Kobeni, why'd you stay with public safety? And she gives one of the realest answers ever, actually, saying, well, bonuses are coming up soon, so, I want that money. Dude, that's like one of the realest answers she could have given. And it's here as we transition to Power and Denji going to go confront the Katana Devil. I'll just say it right now. Power's kind of nasty, man. She's got a zombie's hand hanging off her, and she just starts biting into it, saying, meat is meat, regardless of where it's from. As Denji's just like, look, we're here to catch the samurai sword, dude. You better not try to eat him when we do. And it's here as their elevator opens up, we see that they're kind of surrounded by zombies. And Denji leans over and says, all right, look, they They haven't noticed us. Don't make any noise. And Power, being Power, just announces to all of them, I am the one called Power. But she says something really interesting here that I caught. She says that these I can defeat, meaning that she knows she can't beat the Katana Devil in a fight. So she's like, I'll handle these guys, Denji. Don't worry about it. You go fight him. As she's like, after me, Denji. I entrust my back to you. As we see that Denji just stayed in the elevator and left her. And as Denji keeps going up the elevator and stops on the 13th floor, it's kind of like he can sense the Katana Devil, because he grabs his cord as the door opens and we see him there with 2 gunmen with him. As Katana is just like, hold on a second, will ya? Let's have a chat here. Depending on how you play this, we're willing to turn ourselves in. We just want satisfaction. You get it? As he says, Denji, you killed their friends and my granddad. We just want you to atone for that. As Denji tells him flat out, I only killed their pals and your grandpa because they turned into zombies, dude. Like, for real, though. And they killed him! What the f- They killed him! Nah, he's got no right to complain. They killed Denji. As Katana's just like, you fucking liar. Dumbass little shits like you always try and lie. Even if that's true, those zombies used to be people too. You seriously don't feel bad about killing them? As Denji tells him, I sure don't. As Katana says, you know, Sawatari's put me through the ringer too. Apparently my heart was replaced with a Katana Devil. How? What a coincidence. But even I have trouble sleeping on nights I've accidentally killed zombies, man. Looks like you're the only one whose heart's not human anymore. If you've got any kind of conscience left, just let us kill you. And I'm sitting here thinking, like, that's one of the worst arguments you could have. Like, what? They killed me first, so I took them out, and because of that, you want to let me have you kill me. Like, what the hell no! As Denji literally responds like we all would. Nah, I'm good. As Katana says, okay then I'm gonna cut you to pieces. Denji says, go ahead and try, dumbass. And they both transform and go flying out the window. And it's here we get a really cool fight scene, honestly, as they land on top of a building and start fighting with each other. And it's honestly a really awesome fight. Now, I wouldn't say Denji's winning, but he's definitely doing better than he was last time. But Katana has more experience than him, so he kicks him so hard. He sends him flying, and he actually lands on top of a train. And I'm and I'm sitting here like, yo, we're about to have a fight on top of a train? That's pretty epic. Let's go. And as they're both staring each other down on the train, Katana asks him, you're looking sharper than before. As he asks him, Denji, what are you even fighting for? As Denji tells him, to protect the life I have now, I guess. As Katana's just like, public safety's got you living the good life, is that it? As Denji tells him, I gotta put up with a nag and a brat, but I like it pretty good. Which is why I've gotta kick your ass so Miss Makima will praise me. As Katana just laughs at him and says, you can't beat me, man. Denji's like, what? You think you got me beat already? I ain't dead yet. As their fight continues. And I gotta say, like, they pulled out all the stops in this fight, in this episode, because it looks incredible. I would argue Denji's fighting harder on top of the train than he was on the rooftops. It's a legitimately, like, close fight. But Denji is still getting pushed back. Training's not going to close that gap of experience that they both have between each other. As Katana actually sends him falling into the train car and all the people run off panicking. And it's here that Katana just starts beating the shit out of Denji now. Sends him flying to where he's right next to a woman. And he's about to cut Denji down and this woman at the same time. But Denji takes the hit and loses his arm in the process, letting her get away. And as Katana is about to do his signature move, Denji's like, look, can we just ban that move already? Seriously, that shit is annoying. As Katana hits him with it again and cuts off his other arm. And it's here Katana tells him, how about it, Denji? Care to apologize for killing Granddad before you die? As Denji gets up like a Chad and says, I'm not done yet. I still have a chainsaw on my head. And Denji's really smart for this. You'll see. And they do one more exchange with each other. As Katana says, didn't Granddad teach you about when to know your beat? As his chainsaw on his head shatters. As Katana says, beg for forgiveness. And I'll make it quick. But our boy Denji is smart. As he says, you went right for my head. Thanks for that, dipshit. As we see that Katana got split right down the middle. It's honestly grotesque, but really awesome at the same time. Like, holy shit. As Denji says, didn't the geezer teach you that beasts shouldn't trust anything a hunter says? As we see, he has a chainsaw coming out of his entire leg. And Denji's really smart for this because he drew attention to the chainsaw on his head. That's why he said, I still have the chainsaw on my head. Making it seem like, oh, that's all I have left. So Katana targeted that, and Denji was able to get a sneak attack in with the chainsaw on his leg. Honestly, very smart and crafty of Denji. And as we transition to our next scene, we see that Katana's tied up on the train tracks, with Denji standing over him. As Denji says, you really are like me, huh? I pulled that katana out of your arm, and the halves of your body stuck back together. That's kind of broken. As Denji says, we've got a while till the cops show up and grab you. And to be honest, I'm not really satisfied yet. You killed Himeno. That's one less hot lady in the world thanks to your stupid ass. Yo, true. But you don't seem to care. And you'll get to spend the rest of your life in jail. How am I supposed to deal with that? And it's here that Katana starts talking shit, saying, not like you can do anything about it, you're just public safety's lapdog. As our boy Denji just smirks and says, we're about to have us a contest. As Aki actually shows up here and Denji's like, great timing. You want to get in on this too, Hayakawa? As Denji says, see, he shot at Himeno. So I figure we get to take shots at him. We take turns giving him nut shots! And whoever gets him to scream the loudest before the cops show up is the winner! I love this. I love this contest. What a diabolical thing to do, honestly. As Katana is just like, what are you, psycho? But Aki crouches down right here because he's still in his feelings as he says, our job is to catch this guy, not torture him to make ourselves feel better. It's not like Himeno would have wanted that. And I disagree. I feel like Himeno would have been the first one to throw a kick. But it's here that Aki pulls out the cigarette again and looks at it. And I can imagine so much emotions are swirling in his head right now. As he gets up and says, so, what do I get if I win? As Denji tells him, his family jewels, of course. His most prized possession. And as the camera starts panning out as they get closer to him, we just hear Katana say, alright guys, look, we can talk about this. We can talk about this, guys. Please, not my jewels. And it's here we just see Aki and Denji just absolutely eviscerate his nutsack. As Aki's just like, Himeno, can you hear this up in heaven? We're playing a requiem for you. And this scene is incredible. I love this scene. It shows that Aki and Denji are starting to get a little bit closer together, you know? That Aki's starting to loosen up, even if only a little bit. This is what I wanted, because I didn't want Aki to get completely unhinged. And I'm not saying he still won't, but the fact that he participated in this means that he's loosening up maybe just a little bit. And we got this incredible scene because of it, so I'm not complaining. Katana might be, but I'm not. But it's here we start getting a little more serious, as we see Makima's reporting to the higher-ups and says, these terrorist attacks were arranged by Akane Sawatari, a devil hunter formerly from the private sector. She had a contract with the Gun Devil and distributed guns to the Yakuza. In exchange, Sawatari was told to recover the Chainsaw Devil's heart. As the higher-ups ask her, why exactly was she after the Chainsaw Devil's heart? Makima tells them, before we were able to question her. As we get a flashback and see that Snake actually bit her head off as she was leaving the building. And in this instance, I'm just like, poor Kobini, man. He's got to see all this shit. As Makima says, it was probably triggered automatically by the terms of her contract with the Gun Devil. As she says, we were able to recover 1.4 kilograms of gun devil flesh from the building. After combining that with the 5 kilograms held by public safety, the flesh chunk has finally begun to move towards the main body, meaning that shit is gonna get real soon. As the higher-ups ask her, where is it headed for? As we just get a close-up of Makima, because we know damn well who it's headed for, and so does she. And it's here we transition to a scene that I didn't think we would get, honestly. As we just see Power, Aki, and Denji just hanging out with each other, you know, spending time, going to the store, just being a team, I guess. And I can imagine why they would do something like this, because throughout the whole show, we're supposed to think that, oh, they're a team with each other, you know? They're a team, they work together. But we haven't seen anything of that. No teamwork, not even really friendship, only really with Power and Denji. So I guarantee the creators of the show were just like, you know, we gotta have a scene in here with all of them bonding. They are a team. But it's honestly really nice as we just see them having a dinner with each other, laughing and having a good time. After all the bad shit that's happened this season, it's good to see them just relaxing and happy for once. And as we transition to later that night, we see Aki go out on the balcony, sit down and pull out that cigarette again. And he just looks at it for a bit. And eventually he does light it and smoke it. And we just get a really somber scene with Aki sitting there smoking that cigarette Himeno gave him. And to me, I interpret this as him saying goodbye to her for right now. And it's honestly a really nice scene. It's a really good end cap to Aki and Himeno's story. I really do like that a lot. But as we get to our ending, there's 2 scenes I really want to talk about. And the first is Denji's dream. Because we transition right back to the very first scene of the show, where Denji's walking down the alleyway and he turns and he sees that door. And as we transition to the door, we see that Kid Denji is in front of it as he says, I have this dream all the time. I always have it, and then I always forget it. As we actually hear Pochita say, Denji. As Denji gets happy and says, Pochita, come out. I can at least pet you in my dream. But Pochita says, Denji, you can't open that door. And our dream ends. And I'm really curious, like, what's behind the door and why did Pochita talk to him about it? Because didn't Denji have these dreams before Pochita was a part of his heart? So what does this even mean? Like, this is like the Attack on Titan, like what's in the basement kind of thing. Like, what is behind this door? I really want to know, and I'm sure we'll find out eventually. And our next scene is quite quick, but very meaningful, as we just see a girl walking along as she says, tell me, Denji, between the country mouse and the city mouse, which would you rather be? As we see a cafe and our episode ends. Now, I'm going to keep it a buck with you guys. I know who this character is. I do. I have not read the manga, but I know this character. Because when she was first introduced, years ago at this point in the manga, people would not shut the hell up about her. I know her name, I know her devil, and I know her devil form. Her name's Rizi, right? That's how you pronounce it? Rizi? I know what her devil form looks like. I'm very excited to see her in the show. Because I hear that she's supposed to have like a thing with Denji, you know? So I'm very curious to know how that goes. And her devil form looks freaking awesome. I just remember everyone would post that one panel of, I know you guys know what I'm talking about, with her in the dress. It looks awesome. And I can't wait to see that in Season 2. So that is Chainsaw Man Season 1 wrapped up, guys. I want you to tell me in the comments what you thought of it. All the manga readers out there, was it satisfying? I want to know. Was it a satisfying adaptation for Season 1? Would you have changed anything? Or do you think it was perfect? I would really like to know. And I'll keep it a buck with you guys. I don't think it was anime of the season. I don't. I've said this before. I won't get into it, but I don't think it is. I'm sorry. But it was incredible, nonetheless. It's a series that I wouldn't say came out of nowhere because everyone talked it up so much. But, like, it's a series that I didn't have experience with that I really love now, and I can't wait to see it continued. I'm very excited for it. So until that happens, guys, I hope you have a great day, week, month, and year. And just stay healthy. Stay healthy, guys. I'll see you guys next time. Deuces.